Welcome to Country Kickback, where you'll hear the latest music from performers you already know and discover new music and artists from around the world. If you have an artist you'd like us to chat with, reach out to the team at countrykickback.com, or you can watch our live videos and more by following us on social media and YouTube. Here is your host, Danny Shaw, with the latest from Country Kickback.
Hello. You're lucky that we're live, because when I went to press the button to start the show, I nearly put the end one on and I just could not think what I was doing wrong. So we're lucky we're live. Thank you for joining us again this week. I know we've had lots of shows coming and there's still more to come this week. So please check out the page when we finish tonight, because you'll see there's a whole heap released and they're at different times. So you can actually click on it and it will give you a reminder just before we go live. Hi, Paula. It's your first in the room tonight. I hope you're well. Tell us where you're watching from and let us know in the comments if you've heard Maddie's new song, and we might welcome him into the room. Hello.
Danny, how are you?
It feels like it's been ages since I've seen you.
It doesn't feel like it's been ages. It has been ages.
It has been ages,
I think the last time I saw you was when I was down there with Brandy, correct?
Actually, probably was, because I've been up a couple of times to Brisbane, but we've been at different things. I think you guys were playing when I was up there, and lots has been going on. Have you had a good year?
Much going on. Oh yeah, well this year's it's gotten better as the year's gone on, but I feel like the the whole COVID thing's just been lingering, but it feels like the longer this year's gone, the less of the less COVID has impacted us, but it's still lurking. I flew to Sydney on the weekend, and as I was going to the airport, I was listening to the radio, and the health officer here in Queensland saying, right, we recommend now people, there's going to be another wave coming, and when you're indoors, when you're out, wear a mask. And I'm just thinking, enough. I've had enough.
It's awful. So because as you know, you came down here a couple of times throughout COVID, but we were lucky enough that it wasn't in the state until December last year when we reopened properly. And we heard the same thing this week, not about encouraging us to put masks and things on, but as a nurse, a lot of people are getting this next wave and seem to be having different symptoms and quite severe. Yeah. So it's just one thing after the other. And
I know.
Yeah. As long as we do our best to social distance, we should still be able to get out there and enjoy some music, shouldn't we?
Yeah, but should we social distance? I mean, it's got to that point for me. Like I had COVID earlier this year, and I'm just ready to get on with it. Yeah, I had it, and I'm ready to get on with it. Yeah, personally.
You didn't have any problems from it?
No, I got sick just like everyone else, but I had a gig with Knowlesy actually about 11. It was exactly 11 days after I had COVID. I had a gig with Knowlesy, and I wasn't 100%, but I got through it. And but I just think, like personally speaking, I think anyone in the arts or hospitality and the tourism sector, a lot of industries got hit really hard. Yes. So I'm at the point where I don't care anymore. Like I just want to get out there. I don't care about social distancing. I don't want to wear a mask. I'm drinking this apple juice right now that's really high in vitamin C.
Yeah, that's what I say. Get the vitamins.
Okay, it doesn't look like apple juice. I've got to say, my mum is staying with me. She's down from far north Queensland, and I haven't really been drinking much lately. I've been on a bit of a health kick, and just before I was talking to you, my mum goes, "Do you want a wine?" And before I could even say yes or no, she cracked a bottle. I thought, well, it'd be rude. It'd be rude. Yeah. So I'm here with my mum. My mum's just down here. She's, playing on her iPad, and I'm having a wine with my mum.
Having some fruit. Having some fruit.
Having some fruit. Exactly.
Yes. Yeah, it's good for you. I'm having water, but I actually am very tempted to have some red fruit when I finish here.
Yeah, you should have some red fruit. I urge you to, please.
Yes. All right. I'll just say I have to now, because it'd be rude for me not to listen.
Yes.
Now,
absolutely.
You have finally been, and throughout COVID, you did release music. You released with Cornell and Carr, but it's been a long time since you released as just yourself.
Yeah, it's been ages. It's been 5 years. I can't believe it. I feel like the last 2 years are like, I don't know. It just feels like the last 2 years have been a blur. And so 5 years. It wasn't meant to be that long. Like when Mike and I first started Cornell and Carr, like when we actually had the first idea to start Cornell and Carr, we said, hey, let's just put out a single and
Yep.
and we'll see what happens. And it was actually yesterday, 4 years, exactly yesterday, that we put out Be in the Band.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, 4 years. I can't believe it. So that was 4 years ago. And Mike and I, we said, let's just put out a single. A single turned into an album, turned into 6 singles. We ended up with 3 Golden Guitar nominations, and we had a hoot doing it. But along the way, when Cornell and Carr first started, I was living in Sydney, as was Mike.
Yes.
And I used to go over his house every Wednesday. We'd write, we'd hang out. And then I moved to the Gold Coast in 2018. He moved to Tasmania this year. We were getting further and further apart. But the big thing was, it wasn't so much the distance. For me, it was just timing. And I just felt like I'd really missed doing my solo thing. And I felt like whatever momentum I had going on in 2017, I had, I'd been nominated a couple of times and got on main stages of some festivals. I felt like I'd lost a bit of traction and for my solo career. But more importantly, I was just ready to really get back to doing my own thing and digging in and working really hard. So, things happen in life, like, as I said, Mike and I, the plan was always do Cornell and Carr, and then at any given time, he'd focus back on his solo career, on Buddy Good, all that sort of stuff. And it just went probably longer than what we anticipated. And I think a lot of that was because of COVID as well. We didn't anticipate that, obviously, but
no.
And then we had border closures as well. We had borders closed. He was in Sydney, I'm in Queensland. It was just crazy.
Yeah. And then and that album that you put out, like, it just the level of quality, you could have even released every single song on that album as a single. So when you've got all that sort of great momentum coming from the two of you as well, it would be very hard to switch one hat to the next, I imagine, with different tours, different careers, and different styles.
Yeah, well, the hard thing for me was when Cornell and Carr started, like, we didn't even know if we were going to have like a Cornell and Carr Facebook page or an Instagram page, and I've always just been very active on my own thing. And then when we sort of started doing that, I realized too, there was a point there, I was like, I believe if you're I don't do things by halves in life in general. And there was a period there where I was thinking, to try and really establish Cornell and Carr, which I think, we're established, but you can't do both and give both your all at the same time.
No.
And Mike and I talked about this, and it's been great to see Mike put out his solo music this year. And so for me, it's kind of like a sense of relief in a way, because I'm focusing on myself now, and I'm focusing on what I've got to do, as opposed to Cornell and Carr and my solo thing. So the timing's been great. I had the blessing from our manager, Dicko, who looks after Cornell and Carr, looks after Mike. When I told Dicko, it was around the time we'd put What You Wanna out, and that was Cornell and Carr's most successful single in terms of streaming numbers and all that stuff. And I just sort of said to Mike, and I said to Dicko, I said, look, I'm loving this, but I'm missing doing my own thing. And I just felt the time was right. And Dicko completely got it. He completely understood where I was coming from. And in fact, Danni, we had a heart-to-heart over Christmas. I went and stayed at his place. Dicko's a bit of a foodie like me and likes to cook. So I went up there, he cooked dinner, we hung out, him and his lovely wife, Mel. And then the next day we went for a big walk up in Maloney, and we just had this big truth session. And one thing about Dicko, I think people that know his persona from Australian Idol, they see him as this controversial judge, right? Yeah. In real life, he couldn't be any different. When he's being the nurturing, loving friend, he's very supportive, he's empathetic and all that sort of stuff. But he can be that guy you see on TV where he doesn't sugarcoat things. And we had a truth session, and he gave me his insights and told me where he felt things I needed to do to sort of relaunch my career or whatever. And one of the big things was he talked about my background as a rock musician. He said, mate, I don't think you should shy away from that. He said, I want you to embrace it. And he pointed out when he saw me perform doing my solo thing for the first time at Country on Keppel, he just said, I still see, he goes, I see you do that, the country thing, the storyteller, you know how to connect. He said, but I also see that rock guy in you still. He said, don't shy away from that. And we talked about that a lot. And it led me to sort of this new song that's out and the direction I'm going in. It's sort of, I still love telling a story. I still love being the storyteller, but I can't help but want to rock out and do that thing, because it's me, Danni. I did that for a long time.
And that's what gives you your standout. I mean, we're in this genre. We're all storytellers, aren't we? We've all got that, but
Absolutely.
you've all got your own little things that you bring to it, and for you, that is that, and that's what people are seeing and enjoying, because you're mixing it and you're bringing out the best of both worlds. So you go into what you believe and what you feel's right. That's what we need to do, isn't it?
Thanks, Danny. Well, I've always thought my point of difference was just being a singing bass player, because you don't see it a lot.
Yeah,
but
there's
definitely, well, it's hard. It's a lot harder to play bass and sing. But
Yeah.
I definitely, I know I've had an interesting background with my career, and I sort of did move away from it. But Dicko's like, no, embrace it. And so it actually feels good. It feels good. And even working with a new producer, Matt Fells produced 4 of my 5 records that I've put out. But now Matt's in Tasmania. I'm on the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
We used to both live in Sydney. And so I wanted to work with a local producer, and I ended up finding Jared Adlin through a couple of friends that recommended him. And he's an amazing producer. He's also an amazing songwriter and just an awesome human. And I feel like I really connect with Jared on a personal level, on a music level. And so, yeah, it's just been an interesting year. It's just, you have twists and turns throughout your life, throughout your career. And it's just funny how it's just led me to where I am right now. And I feel like right now it's where I need to be. And Dicko and I, we've got some big plans for next year. There's a lot of stuff that we're working on, and it just feels good now. As I mentioned, with things with COVID, it's getting better. I want to put the foot down next year and just work really, really hard.
Really hard and go for it. It sounds to me like what you're planning in the next 12 months or so. We're going to get more of this, more of you, more of your music.
Absolutely.
And I love that. It's something that I think people, there are so many people here in the comments that people are just so happy to see you doing it. And I think, and it's not that they didn't support you in any of what you did, because they have, and you've done great in every field, but it's nice to see you putting yourself first and enjoying doing that.
Oh, look, the one thing about country music fans, they are by far and wide the most loyal, the most passionate.
Yeah.
And I knew when I started doing Cornell and Carr, I knew they would, embrace Mike and embrace us as a group. But there has been a lot of people saying, when are you going to get back to doing your solo thing?
Yes.
And again, timing, I just feel like the time is right. And Mike and I, we know we're not saying Cornell and Carr are never going to do anything again. Like I bet we are. But right now, I need to be doing this. Mike is also doing his solo thing. And what I love about what Mike's doing and what I'm doing, Mike is such a well-respected songwriter in Australian country music. And his style, which he's been focusing on this year, is very different to mine.
Yeah.
And which is great. So our stuff is very different.
Yeah.
And I think it just makes it interesting, like that we're not releasing stuff that sounds the same,
No, and I think that's the great thing, because you can go backwards and forwards when you need a bit of a break from this. You can go there, and people are going to get something different, and we know that, and we get to see a different side again. But there's a lot of people popping in to say hi, so I'll bring a few names. If I miss you, I'd apologize. There's lots of messages, and there is a saying hi. Jane
just so that people don't know, I'm only just seeing some names popping in now, but I can't see any of this.
We've been talking, and Paula said that she loves your song, your new song.
Oh, thank you, Paula. Thank
Donna's
you. Hey, Donna.
Hang on, there's loads of comments. So if I miss you, please pop it again, and I'll try not to miss anyone.
Hey,
Paula and Rebecca's in the room.
Hey, Beck McAdam.
Yes, and Darren was up there recently.
Darren Page. Hello, mate.
He was up for groundwater and down on Sydney on your boat cruise. Paula's
very cool. He's a good fella.
COVID, it's been a real problem for everybody, hasn't it? It's just...
It certainly has, yep.
And Donna said she misses seeing you.
It's been a long time, Donna. Been a long time, Donna.
It's time that it's here, though. And here we go. Might have been 5 years since you were
certainly worth the wait.
Yeah. And that
thank you, Annette.
It's a great song. Now, as we were saying, before I did look and see, are you going to do videos for this one, or what are your plans there? Are you going to keep sort of just releasing music, or are you going to sort of do all the?
Am I going to do videos for the current single? Have you not seen it?
No.
Have you not
seen
the video?
One?
Oh, right.
No, I clicked on. I couldn't get on. I looked on YouTube. I thought you must have done it.
No, I explained, but for those watching, I've had some issues. I've had some issues with my YouTube channel. But the clip we uploaded it direct to my Facebook page, so you
okay.
can
So
you can have a look at it. Yeah, no,
yep.
that's
Sorry, I thought
fine.
you must have done one. I thought, oh,
no, we've done a video. You can have a
oh,
look
good.
whenever you get a chance, or
Yes, I
don't.
will.
It doesn't matter.
I'm
That's
sorry.
okay. That's fine. It's fine. Yeah, no, we did a clip for this, and actually I wanted to keep it local. So
Yeah.
I lived in Sydney all my life, and then I moved to the Gold Coast in 2018. I live in Currumbin, and I'm just so in love with Currumbin and this whole area. And when we shot the video, apart from shooting a scene in my friend's cafe in Kira, the rest of the video was done like literally 5 minutes from my house. So I wanted to celebrate the Gold Coast. I wanted to celebrate Currumbin. And one thing about Currumbin that a lot of people don't know, it's so diverse. Like there's Currumbin Beach is literally just around the corner, and then just around the other corner from my house is cows and horses. And when you drive around the corner, it feels like you're in the country. And you'll see that in the video when you see my mate Jimmy riding the horse, and you see me out there singing the song. That is around the corner from my house in Currumbin, and it looks like I'm in the country. If you go 5 minutes the other way, you're at the beach. So it's just an incredible part of the world, and I wanted to celebrate where I live. Jay Sini, who everyone knows from Blackfish Productions, he shot the clip. He did a great job, and it was only a small crew, but we got some beautiful lighting in the afternoon, and borrowed my neighbour Ryan lent me his truck. It was all hands on deck. But no, I actually really love the video. I think it really suits the song. Oh, and of course, I've got to give a shout out to my friends at Chuffers. We did one scene in Chuffers as well.
You did go down there.
Of course. Look, any excuse to go down there and have a cocktail and eat some wings.
I haven't been there yet. So next time I'm on the Gold Coast, we'll have to go
Danni,
for that.
You need to add an extra day just so you can go there and gorge yourself. The food is amazing. You love it.
Sounds like fun. Now, I hadn't seen it, but actually probably should just mention that you have had some issues with your YouTube page for those that have been looking on there.
Yeah, it's okay. We're going to... Yeah, we are. We're in the process of sorting it out. But I am going to we do have, it is on a particular YouTube link. So I'm actually going to unlist it tomorrow so people can start sharing the YouTube link. And then eventually the other YouTube channel will be up and running.
Wonderful. Great. Yeah. So if anybody of you have been looking like I was, that's what's going on. So it is being sorted. Don't panic.
We'll sort it out.
Now, stick around. Is there a reason that you chose this to be the first single? You know that you would have been writing and having different songs, but is there something particular that stood out about it?
So I have been writing a lot this year, and that was Dicko's plan. He just kept saying to me, "Write. I want songs. We want songs to choose a single from." But Dicko has it used as a particular saying a lot, a lean forward moment. You know, he likes things that have a lean forward moment, and he was looking for that. And when I wrote this song, I wrote the song with Jared Adlam, who I mentioned before, the producer, and a young fella called Timmy Aiken, who's really talented. The three of us wrote the song, and when we were writing it, there was just something different about it. And Jared came up with the big sort of slow that guitar part, and the timing and the way it sort of felt. I liked initially when we were writing the song, even before we got the song finished and we got the story out, it just felt good. And then and I said to the boys before we actually wrote the song, Danni, the three of us, I'd written with Jared before, but not the three of us. And so sometimes when you're writing with someone for the first time or a group of people for the first time, you want to have that sort of get to know each other sort of process and talk about, you know, what I'm thinking as an artist, what I want to say and all that sort of stuff. And I mentioned to the guys, just where I'm at in my life, I just said, look, you know, I want to settle down and start a family and all that sort of stuff, but I'm still single and it hasn't happened, but I just feel I'm so content and ready and all this sort of thing, all these sort of things. And so to a degree, like when we were sort of coming up with the story, it's almost like the story, the guy in Stick Around, it's almost like that's in real life, that's the guy that, you know, I want to be, you know, the guy you know, there's a line, you know, we'll buy some land, we'll build a house and we'll settle down if you stick around. And now we've got 2 kids, a little dog, and we love this town. Like it's what I want one day. I want to settle down, have the girl, have the dog, have the kids and whatever. And we talked about this before he wrote it. So it was almost like, it wasn't just let's just write a love song or whatever. It was about me talking about where I'm at in my life. So it resonates with me, and hopefully it resonates with other people as well. But so it's kind of like a real life manifestation, if you want to
You're
call it
putting
that.
it out there, and it's going to come back in the right way, in the right form.
Yes.
Now,
Apparently
I do need to mention, otherwise I'll be shot, I'm sure. Country on Keppel, you're heading back there.
Oh, yes, I am. Just try and stop me. When I first got called to do Country on Keppel, are you going, Danni? If not,
I haven't,
need to
but
sort that out.
I think I need to go because I missed
You
last
need to talk
time.
to Beck Gracie. You need to talk to Beck Gracie. So the first Country on Keppel, again, it was crazy border time. Borders got closed. Jasmine Ray, it was Jasmine Ray. She was booked, and then the borders got closed, and I got roped in at the last minute. And when Beck approached me and said, "Look, there's this festival. It's on a tropical island. You're going to be playing music on a tropical island with ocean views." I'm like, "Where do I sign up?"
Yeah. Can I do this for every gig?
I know, and there's nothing like it. Like, as far as I know, there's no country music festival on a tropical island. No. And look, the first one it didn't disappoint. And that was the first time I connected with James Blundell, who's become a great mate. And it's it's different. It's different to any other festival I've ever done. It feels like, well, you are on island time, and this beautiful backdrop, and it is very relaxed. And because it's such an intimate setting, and everyone sort of is staying in and around the island. Like, so often when you do shows, you do meet and greets after the show, but you find that over the weekend, especially if it's someone, a fan, a country fan or whatever that's there for the weekend that you've never met before, by the end of the weekend, it's not like you've done a meet and greet and spoken to them for 20 minutes. Chances are you've spent time with them over the weekend. You've had a few beers. So, I've made some great friends out of Country on Keppel, but it's just a beautiful backdrop and a different atmosphere to most festivals because it's not just one day, it's 3 days, and we're on an island. It's very chilled. And this time around too, I get to do my 80 show. It's a fancy dress 80 show. So people that are coming, Adam Brand's headlining. There's a stack of other artists that are about to be over the next coming weeks, whatever they're going to be announced. But for me, when we sort of pitch the idea, it's like, okay, I'm playing on a Friday night, playing all my songs, and we're like, how about I do the 80 show on the Saturday night? People can dress up. We're encouraging people, bring your outfits to the island. It's just going to be great because, I'm probably a little biased, but I'm obsessed with the 80s, and I just think it was an incredible era of music. It's a great era of music. The clothes are out there, but the music's incredible. So, for those who are on the fence or you're thinking of coming, come to Country on Keppel. It's going to be amazing. Off the top of my head, I don't want to mention anyone other than Adam Brown in case I put my foot in it and mention someone. Yeah, well, I know there's some artists who I know are going, but I don't think they're being announced. So I'm just going to shut up. I know Adam Brown's going to be there. I'm going to be there. I'm doing my 80 show. So look, get your tickets and get in soon because the accommodation. Do I need a passport? Well, Darren, possibly. Depends where you live, mate.
It may get to that point.
It may get to that point, but, and I'm being serious, for those that are on the fence, the accommodation, I believe already it's really close to selling out.
Yes.
Get on board now. And if you do miss out on the accommodation, there's a ferry that goes across to the island. You can get accommodation on the mainland and just get the ferry across. Here we go. Shush, 2 weeks and yes. Okay, Beck, I'll shut up. I'll just sit here and drink my apple juice.
Jules has popped in to say hello.
Hey, Jules. Hello, lovely.
Yes. No,
two great publicists, one after the other.
Yeah, I know, isn't it wonderful? We've got lots of lovely people watching tonight. And I know that you've got your mum there, so I won't hold you up for too long. But where's the best place to keep in touch with you and to keep up with your music as it's coming out and tickets as they become available?
Before I tell you that, you don't have to worry about my mum, but I'm more worried about if she hasn't had dinner yet, and I'm going to cook a dinner. So at some point, she might just go, "Listen, Danni, I'm hungry. I want him to cook me dinner."
I'll be there in an hour. Yeah.
Look, my website is about to get a bit of a rebuild. It's getting rebuilt. But look, the best way to get in contact with me is on Facebook and Instagram, and both my pages are just Matt Cornell Music. There is some dates up there. We've got the Stockroot Country Music Festival in Dubbo on the 11th of March. There is a Tamworth show that I can't tell you. And what has Jules said? I'm surprised you didn't do the cooking show as part of this chat. Hey, next time, Jules,
we could have done that. We could have
No,
done that.
we'll do it next time. So look,
We will.
there is
I'll
a
come up
Tamworth
there and we'll
show.
do it.
Well, I did a Facebook cook along, a live cook along during COVID, and it was actually
Yes.
fantastic. And a lot of people keep
Everyone
asking me
loved it.
about it. So,
Yep.
so I will do that again. The Tamworth show, I think we are announcing early December, and I'm so excited about it. I can't say anything at this stage.
No.
And look, we're in for a big year. We're planning a lot for next year: festival, shows, tours, you name it. So, you look, stick around. You know, it feels so good to have it out there at the moment, and I'm going to be working really hard for the rest of the year to get the single out there and get as many people to hear it as possible. And then in the new year, Danni, and all through 2023, you know, there's going to be a lot of good stuff happening.
Yes, and Susan is hoping you're coming back to Western
Yes,
Australia.
hello, Susan. Say hello to Bodie for me. Look, WA is definitely on the cards. Look, after the last couple of years, we want to go everywhere, but we've just got to. But I'm not surprised.
You can't be everywhere this summer weekend.
Jules, this is apple juice. I don't know what you're talking about. This is apple juice. So yeah, look, I want to get all over Australia. I want to get out there again. But look, it is things are starting to happen again. Slow and steady wins the race, apparently. But look, I can't wait to get out there next year.
Look, and it's great because you've had a bit of a taste of it, so you're warmed up.
Yep.
You're ready to go.
I'm ready. I am ready to go, mate.
Are you're winding down? You're having a bit of time off for Christmas?
I am. I've got a private. I'm doing the Sale Country Music Festival, playing with Adam Brown this weekend in Victoria, which is going to be great. We've got a lot of great mates on that show as well. Next week I've got this private gig I'm doing here on the Gold Coast with a bunch of friends of mine, which is going to be unreal, and that's going to be my last show for the year. And then I'm going to get to wind down, and then I'm going up to visit my mum over Christmas. She's in Far North Queensland. I'm going to go see her over Christmas, which would be fantastic. And I feel like that's going to be the reset before the new year starts. And then once 2023 starts, I've got a bunch of releases next year, Danni. I've got a bunch of singles coming out next year, and I just I can't wait just to not only for people to hear what's coming up, but I just feel so good. But going back to doing my solo thing and getting that the gratification straight away when you put music out in this day and age with social media platforms and people commenting and reaching out to you and all that sort of stuff, it makes me feel good. It keeps me energized and bring on the new year.
Yes, absolutely. I'm with you. We need to finish 2022 and head into 23, and life will be good, I think.
Yes, absolutely.
And as Rebecca said, happy birthday for next Wednesday. Yes, because you're November, aren't you?
Thank you, Beck. Yes. I am November. Yeah, I think it's just next Wednesday, the 23rd of November. So that's sneaking up. I can't believe it.
That's coming
quick. Maybe easily gone.
Deborah's popped in to say
hello. Hey, Deb.
But thank you so much for joining us and taking the time. I am coming to Tamworth, so hopefully if I don't get to see you between now and then, I will catch up with you there. But
well, if you can, we can do the red fruit drink in Tamworth.
We can do that. Just make sure that we've got plenty of fruit on board because we don't want to, get too unhealthy over there.
I know.
Yeah, it's got to be good. Well, thank you, everybody. We will be back tomorrow night. We've got DJ Scotty and Ashley Dallas coming in to chat with us tomorrow night. So we've got lots of things.
Ashley's fantastic.
Isn't she?
I love Ash. She's
fun.
The best.
Can't wait
she's
to catch up with her.
She's got the most infectious laugh too. Her laugh is ridiculous.
She does. She's just that sort of person. I love her. She's great.
Hey, Danni, just on a personal thing, thanks so much. Look, there's so many people out there like yourself that do this, week in, week out, that put so much time and effort into it, and I know there's people that tune in every week and whatnot, but it doesn't go unnoticed. I know so many artists respect what you do, and so thank you.
Thank you. I love doing it, but it does take up time, so it's a lot of work, but it's worth it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It helps you guys.
I'm sure.
It helps you guys. Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
we'll see you tomorrow night, and have a good evening.
See you guys.
See you later.